Namibia, land of resilience and hope, a nation forged in unity, its spirit shaped by its people and their diverse passions. One passion that transcends differences and ignites national pride is sport. At the heart of this unifying force stood a man whose love for the game mirrored his love for his country. President Dr. Hage Gottfried Geingob. As we take a closer look at the impact that President Geingob had on the sporting industry in Namibia, veteran journalist Carlos Kambaikwa, who shared a close connection with the late president, provides us with personal insights into his enduring legacy.
The late president was a sportsman. Being a former footballer himself, he was so passionate about football and especially about the welfare of athletes, especially Namibian athletes. He wanted to see Namibia strive to be counted amongst the best in the world. He is a man who dedicated his time for sports. He barely missed any of the major sporting events, be it rugby, football or whatever, boxing. He was forever present. And it's not only that, he has done quite a lot for football. I mean, if you look at the votes that he garnered when he became president, he garnered more votes than the ruling party itself, the SWAPO, that is party, which means that he was a man of the people. So a lot of people liked him. And I can tell you, with all honesty, from my opinion, I think it is because of his involvement in sports that he had that connection.
Born on the 3rd of August 1941 in the Oshodonjupa region, President Hage Geingob's life was shaped by sports at a tender age. He donned the jersey of the Etosha Lions, with his talent and dedication clearly visible on the football field. This early love for the game foreshadowed the impact he would have on the national sporting landscape.
His nickname was Danger Point. And I asked him after the interview, now what did this name come from, Danger Point? Now then he said, with me, you're going to get past. So it's a warning that you don't try to dribble up around him. It's something that anyway really happened. He was a resolute defender or a hard tackler. And obviously he had an imposing figure as well. So the strikers, they were not comfortable taking him on. That's a warning that you don't go there. That's a danger point.
His journey, however, took a detour. Forced into exile in 1962, Geingob nevertheless carried his love for sport further, even amidst political turmoil. He organized football matches among fellow exiles with the spirit of the game keeping their hopes alive.
It was very good. Blue Waters players used to say, "Watch out for the Damaras." When our team entered the field, we used to say, "Now the Our Father starts." The old ladies who used to cheer on us used to scream and say, "Catch the ball." Then you'll say, "Don't worry, the cup is ours. We didn't play for money."
I interviewed a lot of people of his era, guys that played with him or played against him, and they were telling me that he was a very good defender. I mean, apparently one of the best because he had the height, he had everything. And from what I heard, he was a hard tackler. He took no nonsense from the field, and he was a true gentleman. He was not like in the habit of questioning the referee's decisions. And moral, he was obviously intimidating referees. Obviously, sometimes at times he said the referee, the time is up, and all these kind of things. He had his own way of intimidating referees and the other players and say, "You're not going to score. You're not going to get past me. Try me." That kind of thing. But from all the guys that I interviewed, the Tommy Oshonas and all these guys, they played against him during his era. Ferdinand Namubeb, he was playing for BMC. These are guys, he also played rugby as well. And some of the guys who went to school with him at Agustinum, they were all telling me that he was a good athlete. He Mr. Brilliant athlete was a nice guy to be around with, either on the pitch or playing against with. I mean, he demonstrated that in his general life as well. He was a man of the people.
Fast forward to 1990, when Namibia gained its independence. Geingob, aka Danger Point, a key architect of the new constitution, returned to his birth country with a vision to unite a nation through shared passions, and sport, he believed, held the key.
In 1991, Hage Geingob was the first or the Prime Minister, and he was also then asked to be the patron of rugby because of the good relationship that him and my late father-in-law also have. And I think it's a great honor to have a stadium named after someone and a great legacy that he leaves with the stadium.
As Namibia's first Prime Minister, Dr. Hage Geingob understood the unifying power of sport, recognizing its potential to heal past wounds and foster national pride.
It's Namibia who lead the All Blacks by 3 points to nil.
He became a motivator for athletes across the nation. Harry Simon, a successful Namibian boxer who secured the WBO World Super Welterweight, WBO Interim World Middleweight, and WBO World Middleweight titles, not only experienced the benevolent support of the late president, but also received financial assistance alongside Nestor Tobias.
The new IBF International Light Heavyweight winner is Hurricane Simon!
We had a good relationship, and he always used to advise me. He advised me also as if he's my trainer, how I should punch and all that. Most of my fights, before he came to my fight, he always tell me that I'm coming to a fight, you better be ready. And I always make sure that I have to be fit and not to disappoint him. And for me, in my heart, I knew that if my president is there is no way I will lose a fight.
First time I spoke to Comrade Hake, it was really funny because he's the one who called me, you know. I was in Johannesburg, I was lying on my bed thinking, how will I pay my rent, you know. And there was a phone coming in from the reception. I thought there's the landlord asking his money, but when I picked it up, this is Hake. It's Hake. Yeah, Prime Minister. Oh, then I say, whoa! I didn't want to, so I was so excited, and I said, oh, how are you, Prime Minister? So I said, so then it's fine. Hey, did you train today? He asked me, yeah, I did, yeah. When are you fighting? And so I said, no, my fight was about 2 weeks to come, and of course, so it was excited, you know, and I was surprised, you know, because get the call from the Prime Minister, second in charge in the country. So for me, it was just something else, and I cannot explain that feeling.
This collaboration reflects the tangible commitment of the late president to bolstering the success and achievements of Namibian athletes, contributing to the prominence of Harry Simon in the world of boxing.
Thank you, Namibia.
His support also extended to iconic football fan Robbie Savage, who served as a mascot for both the Brave Warriors and the national rugby team, the Wilviches, symbolizing a turning point for Namibians. The late president's remarkable passion for football, stemming from his own experience as a former player, was extraordinary. However, his support wasn't limited to football and boxing. It extended to rugby too, a gesture that garnered significant recognition.
As we have the kickoff.
In 1989, they were still just people from exile, a government in waiting, and he went to introduce himself to the people of football. That was his home. At one of their first meetings at independence, they decided the Prime Minister at the time should become the patron, both for rugby and for football, for very significant reasons. Because we are coming out of an apartheid state, people are resisting to change. And this is a man who embraced everybody. He went and met the white administrators of football, of sports, of rugby and other coaches and said, listen guys, things have changed. And he carried that voice as a unifier, as a transformational person. And I think it was very important at the time that he became the patron of both rugby and football. Of course, people resisted and they still resist, and they are telling us stories up to now, but we've gone a mile further to really get sports to where we want it to be, not fully, but I think had he not been the patron, had he not been involved, had he not been a willing person in football, we probably would not be here. But his patronship really helped to get us. You know, we're coming from an apartheid era. The people who ruled us did not come to our events. Here comes a prime minister. It was unheard of, unseen. And for him to be amongst us, I remember the 1991 NFA Cup, where he kicked off the ball. It was something new for all of us. And he was amongst people.
The tangible expressions of this sport included initiatives like the naming of the Hage Geingob Rugby Stadium and the prestigious Dr. Hage Geingob Cup, both of which stand as enduring symbols of his enduring legacy.
One night it struck me, and I made an appointment with him for a coffee. I always went to his house for coffee, the two of us. And I told him, Right Honorable, I want to do something for you, which will reverberate throughout this country, which will be not, it will be on the lips and of everyone, it will be in the ears of everyone, and it will be something big as far as I'm concerned. He wanted to know, what is it? He called me Conradi. What is it, Conradi? I said, I want to have the stadium named after you. That was in 2002. It was before the next Rugby World Cup in 2003. And he said to me, but no, I don't think your timing is right. This will cause you more problems, which you already have, because he knows the problems that I had. And I said, no, don't worry. If it is my problem, I will deal with it. You will not deal with it. Don't worry about that. And after some time, I left. And at the very first next executive meeting of rugby, I proposed the name change. And it was unanimously accepted to name the stadium after him. I went to him, I announced it to him. He was, of course, very glad. The legacy remains. The stadium is linked to somebody whose spirit will always be alive. Rugby Stadium is very well taken care of, and I think it gives honor to his name. It is an institution that really put his name up in that rugby has been qualifying ever since. It is an institution that is beautiful, it is well maintained, and it is just suitable for the institution to be linked to a person of that stature. A huge man in stature, but with a very kind heart.
The Dr. Hage Geingob Cup kicked off in 2014 when Dr. Hage Geingob was serving as Prime Minister.
I have realized that the people do not know why I'm being honored. Something I just go and watch football matches. I used to play.
What we decided is to honor a great man. He's been the father of football, if you could put it that way, father of sport, a man that has really done so much for this country. And what better time than now to celebrate his life, to celebrate his legacy while he's alive, and say to him, thank you for what you've done for football, thank you for what you've done for the nation, thank you for what you are doing for sport until today, and really just to give it back to him.
The inaugural edition was claimed by Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa. Notably, Kennedy Mwene, the Zambian-born goalkeeper for Sundowns, etched his name in history by scoring the first ever Dr. Hage Geingob Cup goal from the spot and securing victory for his team. Sundowns continued their dominance in the following years, winning both the 2015 and 2016 editions, thus solidifying their status as champions.
And now Sundowns, here's Kubane! 1-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns.
In 2017, the competition took a new turn, transitioning to international football. The brave warriors of Namibia emerged victorious over Zimbabwe, marking Namibia's first triumph in the tournament. The following year saw a thrilling encounter between Namibia and Ghana, with Namibia prevailing in a penalty shootout led by their captain Pietrus Shitembi. In 2019, however, Zambia claimed victory over Namibia, breaking the latter's 2-year winning streak and taking the cup out of the country. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 edition was cancelled. However, the tournament returned in 2021, with sponsors directing funds towards community donations amidst the pandemic. In 2022, the competition shifted to rugby, with South Africa's Griquas emerging victorious over Namibia's Wilvetjes.
Back over his head. Can it be cleared up? No, it's picked up there by number 12, Eddie Fouchier for the
The 9th edition returned to football, featuring the Debmarine Namibia League champions African Stars and the SMS competition winners Eshoke Chula Chula. Additionally, a women's Super League clash and a match between Namibian and South African legends preceded the final. Eshoke Chula Chula made history by winning the coveted trophy in the 2023 edition at the Windhoek Independence Stadium. The late President Dr. Hage Geingob presented the trophy to the champions, marking it as his final appearance at the prestigious football event in the land of the brave. Geingob wasn't just a patron, he was a vocal supporter. His social media channels were abuzz with encouragement for the brave warriors, the national rugby team, and every Namibian athlete chasing their dreams. His hands-on approach exemplified the late president's genuine dedication to fostering a thriving sporting community in Namibia. He also personally extended invitations and congratulations to teams and individuals at the State House, exemplifying his tangible support for those who represented Namibia globally in their respective sport codes.
He was a unifier. Although he played football, I mean, we all know that football is the #1 sport in the country, but he wanted an inclusive sports society. And he supported all the sports codes, whether it's netball or volleyball or whatever. He rendered his support, and he was hands-on on what is going on. And that's why you will see a lot of teams, whenever they've done well, coming back to Namibia, be that hockey team or whatever, he will invite them to State House to receive them, or even when they leave. I mean, this is not things that are happening very easily in other countries. And sometimes we don't appreciate our own things. The way he has been doing things. He was a wonderful person, kind-hearted, very passionate about whatever. He had a golden touch. Whatever he undertaken is always turned into gold. He was a man with brilliant ideas.
Shortly after Dr. Geingob became president, the brave warriors had the honor of visiting the State House. Their triumph in the regional COSAFA Cup further elevated the pride of the president as the team returned home as champions. However, prior to the final, one particular phone call was made to Mr. Okamenethi himself.
Let me use this opportunity to pass on my deepest condolences to Mrs. Geingob, the Berry family, and the entire nation. Now, we all know the late president had a special place for football in his heart, the beautiful game. And I was on the receiving end of that love and passion that he had for football, both as a player and a coach. And we shared so many moments before important matches. But one that stood out was that phone call he made to me, where he threatened me nicely and jokingly the night before the COSAFA Cup final in 2015. When he said, "Don't come home without that cup. It's best if you stay there in South Africa. But we need that win and we need that cup." And that moment will forever stay with me. And that was the man that he was. He was a winner. And that I learned from that phone call that the love and passion he had for the game did not stop there, did not end there, but he loved winning as well. And that's the lesson that I took, and that will stay with me until the day I die.
Other visits to State House were made by representatives in a variety of other sport codes, among them the 2020 Olympian Beatrice Masilingi.
I do remember this was 2021. I think this was before we left for the Olympics. We did pay a visit. He did send us off, and yeah, it was really amazing to get to meet him in person. He has a great sense of humor. It was really funny. I really loved him.
Football, nonetheless, remained among the president's favorites in what would be his final weeks in 2024. The Brave Warriors once again caught the eye of their patron. They made history by winning their first AFCON match, beating Tunisia 1-0. The team nevertheless needed some extra motivation after their second match at the competition left them bruised. The president contacted head coach Colin Benjamin promptly and personally. The message was clear.
The President of the Republic of Namibia, the Honorable Hage Geingob, called us before the match against South Africa. He congratulated us. I couldn't believe it. And part of our disappointment was also that, he called and the whole of Namibia was behind.
And so the Braves did what the president ordered. They fought and historically booked their spot in the round of 16.
Chance for Namibia! It's off the post. Can it come again? Saved by Chara from...
In addition to his steadfast support for local athletes, Dr. Geingob openly declared his lifelong love for Liverpool FC, a sentiment that resonated deeply with fans across the country.
It was admirable to know that the late President Dr. Hage Geingob also supported Liverpool the way we do here in Namibia. And I remember I was told that he once visited a supporters club in Tsumeb, and he actually watched the match with them. And even though Liverpool didn't win that day, the president still came out and said, guys, don't worry, there's always the next time.
Liverpool didn't win, but it's all right.
That day he called me from home. He didn't go to office in the morning, and he just wanted to chat, and he called me and he said, this grandson of mine, we were watching soccer last night, and seemingly he's not Liverpool, and he has been teasing me, and I just wanted us to watch soccer, good soccer, not to be teased. But he kept on and on and on and on. And I was listening because my president is complaining to me. And I was saying, yes, my president, but why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? It's not right, it's not fair. And I think Liverpool was losing. And he needed to vent. He was looking for an outlet. He said, let me call Christine. He was just a man. And not a president when he was venting, when he was licking his wounds, because he was wounded.
His speeches and presence at the sporting events echoed his beliefs. He spoke of sports not just as competition, but as a bridge, a way to break down barriers and build a stronger Namibian house where no one should feel left out.
I remember when we played the COSAFA Cup against Zimbabwe. Half-time it was 1-1. When I went to the tunnel to go to the dressing room, he stood on top there at the VIP section. He called me, he said, Coach Mogane, we must score. So when I went into the dressing, I told the guys, the Prime Minister was talking, he said we're scoring. When we came in, we scored and we won Zimbabwe. Then also a very important one was the game against Bafana. The same thing. Half-time, I saw him on top. He said, look here, I'm here with the founding president and the father of the nation. I'm here with our second president, His Excellency Ifike Pohamba, and I'm here. We are supporting you. Come, let's go. So we played against South Africa that time. When I went to the dressing room, I told the players, all three of our top leaders are here. So we beat Bafana Bafana. So he also went to Burkina Faso. He came there before the game. We played against Ivory Coast. He encouraged us. He said, we are a young team, but we can make it. Of course, we were 3-0 down. When I came into the dressing, I told the players, the Prime Minister is here. He said, we came 3-3, but we lost. So our president, late president, our beloved president was really a passionate man when it comes to sport. He was a person that we could look up to.
One of his proudest moments that he told me is that the transformation that he could see that took place with rugby, and that was also his foreword in the book that I wrote about the history of Namibian rugby, where he talked about just the values that was entrenched in rugby, that it was all encompassed, that everyone was welcome, that everyone could play the game, and the transformation that was not forced to happen, but that did happen, and the results that the team in the end made on the international level. And I think he was very proud as a patron of those achievements.
Namibia's history is marked by division. Apartheid's legacy left scars. But Geingob saw in sport a powerful tool for healing. He encouraged inclusivity, ensuring equal opportunities for all athletes regardless of their background. One such athlete was Namibia's first ever Olympic medalist, Frankie Fredericks.
He was so kind to me that he wants to make me the patron. So he came to discuss that possibility. That's why he's here. And I have, of course, with great honor, said I'll be honored to accept it.
I feel personally that the Honorable Prime Minister is the one that I want to work with for the foundation, because I feel that his knowledge in sports and his support in the past with the Olympic Games and the World Championships, and obviously with Harry Simons boxing, he was there. I think he's the one that loves sports, and I feel that I wanted him to be the one.
In addition to his support for athletes, President Geingob was equally passionate about documenting the tales of Namibian sports through literature. Over time, he provided his backing to authors such as Seth Boyce, Seybrand de Beer, and Kambaikwa, all of whom, at various stages, acknowledged his encouragement in their writing journeys.
He's actually the one who initiated the project. Each and every time I bump into him at events, he was always say, hey, there is a man who writes good English. When are you going to write a book about Namibian football? I was all, that he was always laughing whenever he says something. I thought, yeah, he's just joking. And I never really took it seriously. But then later on, I realized that he took a liking to the way I write articles and the research I've been doing on football players, especially on my weekly column, Tales of the Legends. Something then he told me that he doesn't miss it. And I realized that I think he has a point, and he was really not serious. And sometimes we sat at occasions where the two of us sit, and I said, no, I seriously want you to write a book about Namibian football, because the day you die, I don't want you to go with this information that we have. So he really supported me. He encouraged me actually to write the book, or instructed me to write the book, which I did, and I showed him the product as well. So he wrote the foreword for the book. We were going to launch it, I think, very soon. And then, unfortunately, he departed.
President Hage Geingob's legacy extends far beyond the playing field. He saw sport as a creation of life, a platform for fostering unity, resilience, and the pursuit of dreams.
He was bookish, he was well educated, he was an academic. So for him, he understood. When we were a new country, so it was all about racial tensions. And he managed to ease those tensions. He managed to unite people, and I think he decided that sports was the only weapon that could unite the nation. And he used sports effectively to unite the nation.
Through his unwavering support and passionate engagement, he ignited a flame in the hearts of athletes and fans alike.
President Comrade Hage Geingob, he has a legacy. When you talk about sports in this country, you cannot talk only about football. You must put him also there, because he was inspiring us. He was talking about sports. He said we are a small country, but we are not a weak country. He told us what we should do. If you hear what the late president was saying, he said, whatever your status is, whatever your situation, fight. And if you fight, you will make it. So he left that strong spirit in us, the fighting spirit, not to give up, whatever your age. You see what I mean? You fight. And if you want to reach your goal, don't think your goal will come in 5 years or 3 years or 10 years. It can take 20 years, because he told us it's not only about you, it's about your children and your grandchildren. And he felt for all Namibians. So he did everything to bring football, and not only football, but other sports, to a level that we can compete with other nations. That is the legacy he's leaving. Fight, don't give up, don't think other people are better than you. Even whatever your status, whatever your age, you can make it. That's what he told us time and time again.
Today, that flame burns bright in the eyes of a new generation, inspired by Geingob's legacy. They carry the torch of unity and excellence, striving to make their mark on the world stage. His belief in their potential and the power of sport to uplift and unite continues to resonate, echoing in every roar of the crowd, every triumphant goal, every dream chased with unwavering determination. President Hage Geingob's love for sport was more than a personal passion. It was a testament to his unwavering belief in the Namibian house and spirit. He leaves behind a nation where differences fade away on the field, where cheers of victory unite hearts, and where the indomitable spirit of sport continues to inspire generations to come.
Leader of the bread, your spirit lives on. Kuyaku.